Shalom, I'm Love Herself, and this is part 2 of Love Himself's message concerning the 7 trumpets. And he continues to say, look around you, see who's gone from the earth, whoever was close by to you, who was a loved one that you miss, but they are no longer here. So why are you still here and trying to make earth your home? It's no longer their home. They are back at home. Some performed their show here, whether it was good or bad acting, good or bad behavior. It's recorded under lights, the sun and the moon. So therefore, your stage set before you. And before you know it, you'll be back at home as well. No one dies, said the Lord Yahweh. You are just only transferred elsewhere, depending on your case. If you were good, you go home with me, your God, said the Lord Yahweh. I am love, he says. If you've been a terrible actor or a shunner, or quiet but stubborn, loveless, that's harmful to loved ones around you. And for that attitude, that sort of behavior gets you punished and sent among others like yourself who hate where they are. I expected all of my characters who I chose to be in my book, my scriptures, my Torah, Holy Version, said the Lord Yahweh. I expected willing workers. My Torah was a script, and that's why I call them scriptures. Each major player would receive in their lifetime scriptures of how I expected them to perform duties. So, since infringement occurred because I offered free will to all in the beginning stages, many took the offer of free will among the first inhabitants on my earth. And they enjoyed the free will, did what they wanted, didn't listen to my instructions, me, the Lord God Almighty Yahweh, went their own way, even though they were mine, my own. I created them. They did not create me. And none of you here today, none created me, said the Lord God Almighty. But anyway, I chose to give free choices, knowing that my earth was not safe in some areas, but they didn't care. They wanted freedom to do what they will without guidance. So when I let them, some of them got into trouble, ventured into areas that only I knew was harmful, like my poison ivory, said the Lord Yahweh. If you don't want me to tell you, and you don't want my assistance beforehand, you are on your own. So they itched. And that's all I'm going to say right there, said the Lord God Yahweh. Anyway, the 7 sons and daughters who are conscious of who they are to me, they know that their history and future is in my Torah, in part, since some of it has been changed over to the Bible. The infringers are calling my Torah now the Bible. So, but since lies have been added, the real characters may seem foreign to you. A white Jesus with all white characters in their Bible is ludicrous, said the Lord Yahweh, because the world, earth here, is made up of many different nationalities. So where would the rest of y'all be if only them are going to heaven? Oh yeah, the Jehovah Witnesses, they try to add 1 or 2 colored faces to their made-up stories. That's just to lure y'all. So you will write your name in blood and be sacrificing your time and eventually your life. Because they only want lily white. It's a long story. I told the 12 tribes who they were, but they wanted to remain lost. You've been seeing Bible characters, my Torah though, but you just didn't know it. Some, they refused to take their position. For example, the poor ones who I told it to, they went overboard with their thinking, claiming that it was preposterous. But I set the record straight and gave them all their clues, but they would not step into their position. Some were ashamed to claim to be such an important somebody. How did they lose their memory of who they were? It's the haze. You each went through that. They're now calling it the ozone layer. Enough said. And so, my rich ones who's forgotten who they are and were before landing here, they are already comfortable with who they are today and refuse to take back their original name and character. The Holy Scriptures are not just history. They are mainly what's happening today, these days. But the infringers rewrote them when I distributed them back in the 1700s. They are not 2,000 years old. Jesus does not exist, said the Lord Yahweh. So there's more to the story. And so, who are you? If you want to know, just ask. I hear all. Praise Yahweh. This is Love Herself signing out. Please go to part 3